In this video, we're going to scrutinize, we're going to crush, we're going to destroy, we're going to investigate whether the write-up for this research article or research dissertation was well written or not, and we're going to rate it on a scale of 1 to 10. So if you also want your research write-up to be investigated and scrutinized, of course honestly, feel free to submit it at staticgene@gmail.com. Now let us go through. This was a write-up on the topic factors associated with the late initiation of ANC among pregnant mothers attending a given hospital. ANC is antenatal care. If we look at this topic, it's really clear. Factors associated. We are looking for factors associated with the what? Late initiation of antenatal care. That was so clear. If this person had only written associated with the antenatal care, that would not be clear, because it would be like, what kind of antenatal care are you dealing with? Are you dealing with the initiation? Are you dealing with completion? Are you dealing with attendance or no attendance? What are you dealing with under antenatal care? That would be the question. But in this context, we are dealing with the late initiation of antenatal care. That's so good. Among pregnant mothers attending, that's so good. The study population is really clear. Pregnant mothers. Pregnant, like it's really so clear. Location, study area, well stated. On a scale of 1 to 10, this, in my opinion, I'd give it 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10. Why am I not giving 10 out of 10? For you who are seeing this hospital, I'm sure you have never heard about it, unless otherwise. But so this hospital is, where is it located? Which country? It would be good to add this hospital is located in Uganda. It would be okay to, like, at the end of the day, add the hospital Uganda. For people who are far away to know where is really this hospital here. That would really provide much more clarity. Now you then have the preliminary pages, which is found in every dissertation proposal. Things like the declaration, the approval, the acknowledgement. Table of content is really automated. You can see here. So it is an automated page number. Some students manually put dots for the page, for the table of content. The table of content is really well aligned, both header 1, header 2, header 3. This looks okay. There is also a list of tables, also automated. This is so good. List of figures, well automated. This is so fine. Oh, there is also abbreviations of acronyms and symbols. This is so important. If you have abbreviations in the write-up, it's always important to put them within the preliminary pages of your dissertation or your proposal. There's also operational definition. Sometimes you need to define the keywords of your research. Like in this context, let's look at one. What does the person mean by late antenatal care initiation? This refers to a situation where a woman comes for antenatal care beyond 12 weeks of gestation for the first time during the pregnancy. This was so good. It helps us understand, in the context of this study, what do we mean by late antenatal care initiation? This is so good. And then you have an abstract which summarizes the findings of the study. It has a simplified background, the method used, simplified, the result and the conclusion, and then a keyword. Abstract must be a total of about 250 to 350 words depending on your institution. This one is 214. Okay, should be within or less, not beyond that number. 214 is a good number. So with the 214 words in the abstract, this is good enough. I'm going to rate these preliminary pages 8 out of 10. It was written okay. It was fairly well written, and I think it's fair enough. Now, if I come to chapter 1, introduction, that includes a background, purpose statement, and objectives. What do I expect? I expect to see a hook. I expect to see a cone-shaped kind of write-up. Global, continental, country-wise, and then you keep coming down. Globally, the person introduced very, very well, and then talked about the antenatal care. Okay, that's the keyword. And then came to Uganda, the country. I do not see African context in this case. Okay. Well, I'm seeing despite ongoing efforts to improve blah blah blah, mortality remains high in developed countries, women in developing regions. The developing region is not clear. I wish could like be Uganda, I mean African context or developing regions. It could be African context, but I wish it could be more like African context. Then you go to your country, Uganda. But that's not so well good. In an attempt to explain factors contributing, okay, that is okay. Came to southwestern Uganda, that's giving general about other studies which have been done in this country about that given topic. Then brought in there is need for an increase in the attention given to the pregnant mothers. Okay, however, there is a positive data, little is known about okay the factors, yeah, which is good. So brought in the problem a little bit and also talked about the aim in this case and talked about why it's important to do the study. Looking at generally this, the statistics were not so much the context, the real statistics, the magnitude was not so big enough, and also the review of the previous study was not really extensive as I'd wished to see. This I'd give it 5 out of 10. Problem statement. How does this person's problem statement, was this problem statement good enough or not? If you look at this, despite the efforts, blah blah blah, review of several literature has been done, so they recommend that you need to initiate ANC early. What's the problem? The problem here is only I'm saying, okay, about 81% of the people who initiated their ANC at that given facility came late in that facility. So it is important to investigate the factors associated with that late initiation. This was really a cool one because the person went to the facility, got the information from there, used it to write this problem statement. This was good. Well, okay, it talks about also the disadvantage of not ensuring that there is early initiation, risk of infant and maternal mortality. So this is a good one. I'm going to give it 9 out of 10. Why 9? The other one, yeah, 1 for the row, of course. Then you have the study objectives. Were the objectives well written? To determine factors associated with the late initiation, yeah, that is okay. To assess the knowledge, to determine the individual and health related factors. I'm going to give it 8 out of 10. There was a lot of action. Determine factors associated, that was okay. Assess knowledge of pregnant mothers, not really okay. On the importance of timing, I thought I would see something like to determine the prevalence of late initiation, something like that, but I did not see that. Then under the other specific objective, to determine the individual and health related factors. Those are 2 things in one. Since this was specific objective, it would have been divided into to determine the health related factors responsible or associated with, then another one to determine the individual related factors. So this was combined, yet it was specific objective. In fact, I'm giving it 4 out of 10. These objectives were not okay. Were not really very okay as per my opinion. So 4 out of 10 for you. Research question. This research was guided by the following question. What is the rate of late initiation? Yeah, this is good. This is what I expected to see as one of the objectives. What is the rate? What is the prevalence of late initiation? Because that's the main area of the study. Then next, what factors are associated with late initiation? This is okay. Research questions, 10 out of 10. Justification. Will the world end if you didn't do the study? Let's see. The maternal infant is still so high despite blah blah blah. It is important despite the current intervention. There is need to feel, oh, this one looks okay. This one 9 out of 10. It's okay. It's of course less. Could have explored more. This is public health. I mean, more could have been written in this context, but conceptual framework, let me just go straight to the figure. Okay, I can see this figure is talking about showing different factors, social demographic, obstetric factors, and only that, late initiation. This is a mixed up. You remember somewhere in our objectives, the person was talking about individual factors, health-related factors. Here I'm not saying social demographic, which may also be individual, of course. Obstetric factors. Okay, like it's always good to use words that tend to flow. If you want to go with the social demographics and obstetric, go with it. If you want to go with individual or health related factors, go with it. But you end up using two, like mixing up words, not okay. So this is 5 out of 10. Literature review. The person introduced benefits of antenatal care, not really too critical in as per the study. Steps of antenatal care, not really within the study context. ANC initiation and attendance rate. This is fair now. This here we are talking now. Because we are talking about the antenatal care initiation. Factors associated, or we are now talking. Okay, so conclusion. This is okay. So because there is a lot of irrelevant information at the beginning, this I'm going to give it 8 out of 10 because they still wrote some good literature review there. Method section. The person brought in study design. It was cross-sectional. This is okay. Study period. It was indicated. Study area was well talked about. Study population, pregnant women. Sampling technique, random sampling. This is okay. Sample determination. Okay. Method. We use some mathematics. Here the Kish-Leslie formula. Also can be modified into a Cochrane's formula. This is okay. Selection criteria. This was well written. There was no opposite. Some people do write opposites in inclusion. If your inclusion says pregnant mothers, some people end up writing under the exclusion here non-pregnant mothers. That's the opposite. If you already included it in the other one, you don't have to write it here. So this person did not write those opposites that students tend to write. Quality assurance and control. This is okay. Okay, pre-testing of the tool. Yeah, this one looks checking for completedness. This looks fine. Materials for the study. It's okay. Study variables well defined in here. Okay, but in my opinion, it could have been divided into okay, this is good. Dependent and independent variables. This is fine. This is okay. Data collection, well designed, structured questionnaire in English translated into a different language. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, this is okay. This is very, very well written. My point of concern in here is that the person did indicate, will it be self-answered by the participant, or you, the researcher, you're going to ask them, then they respond, and then you take for them. They didn't indicate here. Data management, entered into Excel using Stata to analyze the data. The version is written. Then the statistical method. Okay. That's fair. Ethical consideration. Okay, that is fine. So in this context, I'm going to give it still 9 out of 10 in my opinion. This was okay. This was fairly written. Result section. You have to generate in your results. It's important to always provide the descriptive statistics when you begin answering your objectives. The descriptive statistics from here were well written about how many people are recruited, presented in tabular formats. My only challenge is that the tables here are crossing into a new table. Your tables should literally fit into a single page. You don't have to let it cross. If not, you should break the table, then you can put it in another section. Some figures were there. Okay, that's okay. Okay, more information, more tables in there. So this is okay. More of tabular formats, graphical formats. I think these graphs were drawn using Microsoft Excel. It can still work. So this is okay. Table, the headings on top for the tables, then below for the this one has no figure title. This is bad. You have to put titles for the figures. Depending on your institution, but most figure titles are always below the figure. Then table titles are on top of the tables. And it should be automated. Looking at this result section, this I'll give it 6 out of 10. The tables are going into other pages. Some figures are not labeled. Yeah, so yeah, 6 out of 10. Did this person write their discussion well? Research discussion. Let's see. The person, first of all, reminded us about the late initiation they got, the results they got, and then also they compared with some other study. This was okay. This was okay. How finally could they explain? The person tried to explain why the result was in contrary to what the other people found out. This is promising. Factors influencing early initiation, which was one of the objectives. The person brought in theirs and kept on referring to also what other people found out. This is typical for research discussion. This was good, comparing it with other studies. Also, the person brought in limitations of the study. Yes, it's important you bring in what do you think are the limitations for your research that you're conducting. Also, it's under research discussion. Okay, this was good. This I'm going to give it 10 out of 10 in my opinion. If you disagree, let me know in the comment section. What do you think is wrong with it? By the way, if you're finding value in this video, make sure you subscribe, like, and stick within the channel. We're going to do more of this. You can share this with your friends. Let them also know how to go about their research. If you want me to scrutinize your research write-up, send me an email. Regardless of the stage you are in, just send it over. I'm going to scrutinize it honestly, of course, and then you will be able to see how you can make changes here and there. Chapter 6, lastly, is conclusion and recommendation. Yeah, the person concluded fairly well in here. My challenge is that he would have provided some context. What problem was he handling before drawing this conclusion here? Also, it would be important to provide some summary statistic for this significant value. Okay, yeah. Recommendation, I see it is recommended other further studies to be done, recommended policymakers, government, and all that. That is okay. Okay. This is fair. Could have written more of the practical implication of your study. Could have really been written more, but well and good. The other ones are just references, expenses, and all that, which is always common. But basically, that is it. So in general, this research write-up, if I was to judge, in my opinion, for an undergrad research, this is averagely 8 out of 10 will be good enough. So like an 80% would be good. I would give the person 80%. So if you disagree, let me know and why. See you next time. Bye-bye.